And welcome, Master Trapster! So this time we will be taking a look at nothing other than the auto turret. It actually looks a little bit small, I think. Looks like a drum fed in a tuna can. Some kind of automatic weapon, which maybe I guess is because that's what it is. So there has been some changes to the turrets, especially the auto turret actually in the latest update. So I thought, let me take a look at it, and I'm going to go through some of the skills and perks, how to craft it. I'm going to go through the statistics and thoughts around that one, and then I will hook it up. I'll test it against some zombies, a bunch of zombies, and I will run it through a Blood Moon horde somewhere down there that I made a small little, I'm not going to say a base, but a small little setup with 8 auto turrets facing a central point, and I'll be doing that as well on this video. So stay tuned for that one. So with the 17.2, the auto turret has actually improved, and I think that maybe it was because it was good enough, or maybe it was because there were some issues with it, but I'll be covering that one. One thing to mention though is that the auto turret takes the 9mm bullets, which is these ones, but there's also the steel ones, but these ones do not work in turrets. So you want to make sure that you're saving these ones, which are made by the brass casings, and when you make the steel ones or find them, just use them yourself in your submachine gun or your pistol, because you do want to keep these ones for the turrets. If you only have the steel ones, you're out of luck, unfortunately. Now this one is at tier 5 for advanced engineering, and let me try to pull that up, and that's under the intellect. And it's the advanced engineering, so you need to have 10 intellect, and I believe it's level 100 as well, as you can see in this XML extract. And that's where you can create the auto turrets, of course the chainsaw and augers, not that we are covering them here. I did that in a previous video. So it's a fairly late game, well, maybe not late game, considering there are 300 levels. It's probably still considered early to mid game, but getting to level 100 takes a fair while. So you need to make sure you perk up quite a lot. You need to make sure you get your 10 intellect, and you need to make sure you unlock the advanced engineering fully before you can do that one. And it was always a little bit weird in comparison, the auto turret and shotgun turret, because in Alpha 16, the shotgun turret was definitely much better. In Alpha 17, especially 17.2, the auto turret might actually be surpassing the shotgun turret for the first time. And I think there are 2 reasons. Firstly, shotgun turrets used to give this stun buff on the zombies or players when it hit. It was something like a quarter chance or a third that it would actually cripple them temporarily, so they would walk much slower. It doesn't do that anymore. So the shotgun turret have been slightly debuffed as a reason. Another thing is that there's a patch note in the Alpha 17.2 which mentions something about a change in the auto turret, that the damage wasn't correct. And I did a comparison. In 17.1, the damage was 23 per bullet. In 17.2, it's 32. And that's a whooping 50, well, actually it's 50% extra damage. Now, maybe it was always intended as 32 and the numbers just got switched and they finally fixed it, but it makes a huge difference. I mean, that's 50% more damage for the same shot. So let's look into specifics here. Now, of course, it uses the 9mm bullet, which is mentioned, obviously. You also can see the turn speed, which has got to do with tracking. But the next one, which says max distance of 30, is the important one. Shotgun turrets have 15. So the auto turret with 30 is actually twice the range, which actually makes a big difference, especially if you want to cover large areas. Now, the entity damage here you see is 32, which gives it a DPS, which is damage per second, of 188. And that's quite high. Block damage is really low. It doesn't really matter. There's a spread as well, which got to do with, I guess, likelihood of hitting or missing. The burst round count is 15, meaning it shoots 15 before it has to reload or cool down. And you can see the burst fire rate of 0.15 seconds per shot, which means that 6 shots takes just over a second. And again, that's where we get to 188 DPS, because if you multiply 6 with 32, that's roughly what you get. Now, if you look down below, beyond the cooldown time of 2 seconds, you're going to see some other properties in there, overshoot time, blah, blah, blah. But what we're looking at is the damage bonus. And as you can see, Glass has the 1.0, actually 1 multiplier, which means it does exactly the damage that it says, which is 1 to blocks. Wood has double. Doesn't really make a difference. Earth, stone, and metal does 0.2, which means they take a lot less damage than other materials. But the most important one that we actually are focusing on, I don't know why they tweaked the other ones, because they didn't do that for the shotgun turrets. Anyway, the damage bonus for the head is 3. What does that mean? It means that if it hits the head, the damage is triple. And that's obviously a huge deal. Imagine 32 times 3. That's 96 damage for one shot hitting the head. And why is that important? Well, it means that since most zombies have around 100 to 120 health points, it means that as soon as the zombie has been hit once in the head, the next or the previous shot will actually kill it. Because if you take 96, you add on 32, that means that it's going to be up to almost 130 damage, which means a lot of the general tier 1 zombies will already be dead. And of course, if you get double headshot and everything like that there, a lot of them, other ones will also die up to 180, 90 something. So it's really powerful to have this headshot multiplier. The shotgun turret doesn't have it. And I think this is one of the things that can actually make the auto turret be a fair bit better than the shotgun turret. And of course, it shoots a lot faster and has a larger burst count. Now we still have to do some in-depth testing to figure out how does this play in when you're putting it again side by side with the shotgun turret against the horde. Because again, they do act slightly differently. In Alpha 16, the auto turrets seem to be okay, but when you compare it to the shotgun turret just blew it away. Used a lot less ammo and killed things a lot faster. So those are the basic stats. Now, how do you actually create it? Well, of course, as I mentioned, you need to make sure you have the perks. Then you need to have a workbench. And when you do that, you go and you go auto turret. And you see you need a motion sensor, you need some forged steel, mechanical parts, duct tape, and polymers. I think steel is the only one that's difficult to, not difficult, a little bit more than other ones. A sensor, the motion sensor takes a bunch of other things as well. This one is easy to get. If you've unlocked everything, then you probably have this one already. And if not, you can always buy it. So crafting it is very easy. So let's say auto turret. We'll start crafting it, and that will take a few minutes. And the nice thing is that you can usually find the auto turret and of course the shotgun turret as well at the traders for purchase. So if you have a lot of money, just go ahead and buy it. It saves you some time. This is how you almost die. Let me go into debug menu and repair myself, or rather heal myself. The fall is a little bit too high. That's one of the changes as well with Alpha 17. Even if I drop all the way down here, I'll still take damage. And of course, if I hit the wall here, yeah, I'm going to have to do something about that. Anyway, so let me show you how to hook it up. And now that I have one of the auto turrets that I had gotten before. So you face it the general way where you want to put it. Like this. Of course, it attaches even to the wall, so that's fine. It doesn't have to stand on anything. You want to make sure that you protect it. It doesn't have that much health points. 1,000 is not much at all. So putting it behind some iron bars, for instance, is really useful. That can save you a lot of headache, especially if you load it fully with ammunition, because you don't want the cop to explode. Take out the auto turret, take out the ammo, and make you cry. Now, so we're going to connect it to the switch. As usual, any electrical items works the same way. And turn on. This one is on, and you can see it takes 15 watts. So it's not too bad. We hit E to interact with it. If you hold E, okay, let me do that. Land claim block. Let me put this one down. Right. So now if I hold E, I can actually pick it up. Of course, I batched it, so I cannot even pick it up. Can I repair it? Do I have enough stuff? Okay. So if I hold this one, try to pick it up, I get to pick it up, but we don't want to do that right now. But that's how you move it. You just have to have a line claim block. You hit E, and this is the general configuration. Now, the first thing is, what's the targeting? Self, our allies, strangers, or zombies. The strangers, I believe, will even kill animals. I've seen that happen. You also have where you put the ammunition, and if I try to put in steel ammo, it doesn't work. You have to put it in the normal 9mm rounds. Make sure you lock the ammo. If you don't, it will not shoot. So we'll lock it. We then look at the camera preview, which is roughly the targeting arc or the area that it covers. Not entirely, because again, this is just a rectangle. But let's put it something like this, and it'll cover all the area in front of the bars, and of course in front of the door there. Okay, you'll see it shoots roughly in front here, so let me close this one. Let me give myself a view here. And everything is done, it's locked, etc. So let me put in just a normal zombie. Let me see, look at you. Zombie, let's do the Hawaiian. Okay. I think he's dead there. Alright. So that's how fast that was. Let's get something a little bit more difficult. Let's get a radiated one. I see that was 2 hits and she lost where I was. She was turned around. It took out the arms, well, one of the arms, and it's still hitting. The radiated ones, they do heal, so they do take longer to kill, but you saw that was actually pretty easy. There's something else. Okay. There are probably zombies wandering around, but you see that was 2 of them, and that was 39 of these rounds. Now, what if you have a lot more? So let me try 10 of them, and let me do this. Let me just pause the AI a little bit. And let's get 10 different ones. Let's get, what should we get? Farmers, nah. Let's get the business player. So businessman. 1, 2. Okay, I got that one, and 10. All right, so I have 10 of them, and I am going to turn it on, and I'm going to activate the AI, and let's see what happens here. So they're walking up here. Is shooting 15 at a time. You saw there it took out a head. Interesting that it's targeting the one at the back, because it can definitely hit all of them, but you see if it hits the head, a couple of shots and they're dead. And if it doesn't hit the head, then, you know, they're really fast. So that was 10 of them. And it took, what, 60 something ammo? That's actually not too bad. Now, again, these are pretty regular ones that I believe they have. Let me do this. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Let me do businessman. Okay, stand still here. And we'll see they have business 150 health points. So it's more than just the regular ones. If I do... Let me see, Arlene, I believe she has 100 and, yeah, she's 125. So she'll be killed by just, let's do this. If I try to bring her in. Yeah, see, well, it's actually 2 hits plus 1. That's interesting. You saw the first hit, the first hit. The first bullet hit. The second one blew up the head, but then it shot a third time, even though technically the zombie was destroyed. I mean, he was double dead. That I didn't realize that's actually going to happen, which means it potentially, let's try that again. Doesn't mean it's going to, it potentially could end up shooting one more bullet than it really needs to, because it doesn't detect fast enough that the zombie is dead. I did not realize that. So potentially we're getting a little bit of waste of ammo simply because it shoots extra, not realizing quick enough that the zombie is destroyed. That doesn't really happen with the shotgun turret because it's slow enough that it shoots, pauses a little bit and shoots again. So if the zombie's dead, it doesn't happen. But here, really, it does seem to happen. You only see that really when it's a headshot. So this was 3. Yeah, I don't know, actually. I mean, technically, the second one could have been a headshot that did the 96 damage, and the first one doing the 32, and then it still shot a third time because it didn't register. Anyway, that's interesting. Now, I'm going to be going to, let me see, map. Where's this place? Down here. Right. So this is my setup here, where I put in 8. Oh, are they? Oh, they might be looking. Oh, that's... Oh, no. Okay, hold on. Let's turn this on. And why did I say, oh, no? Because... Okay. Oh. Turn off. So, you saw all these ones were pointing a weird way. They were all pointing like out to... Well, out here somewhere. Which was really interesting. Again, it's because I loaded the map. It seems to be that when you reload the map, they'll point, I guess, the default direction. But once they get power, they will again point the right direction. That's what I was a bit concerned, because you obviously need them to point the correct direction every time and not get reset. just because it loaded the game, because that will be a big problem. So I have a slight little setup here with a small little metal pillar. Nothing here. Okay. You have the turrets here, 2, 4, 6, 8, all pointing sort of inwards. And as you can see, they're pointing slightly upwards as well. They're sort of covering this area. And so what I expect to happen when I start the Blood Moon Horde is that they will be killing the zombies. But another thing is, because they have such long range, this is about 14, I believe, it means that any vultures that are coming up here should be targeted by the auto turrets as well. And that's something that is really good with auto turrets. If you set them to scan the sort of the air, they will take care of the vulture that are coming into attack. Now, whether they are able to kill them before they land hit on me, I don't know. If you have enough or you position them the right way, they probably will. But at least it means that you don't have to worry so much about the vultures, because the auto turrets will take care of them. And that's another way you could do it if you don't want them to target the normal zombies. Instead of having them sort of cover this area, just have them cover upwards to ensure that they takes care of any vultures. And then you sort of use shotgun turrets or other traps, or just manually killing the regular zombies and just use the auto turrets for the vultures. So let me see here. Let me do a set time 21:55, and I'm going to also increase my gamma a little bit. Okay, so we can see it a little bit better. It gets a little bit dark otherwise. We have that weird color now. I think got purple, but all right. Torches. I place down some torches as well. That doesn't hurt. Let me do that while the zombies start making their way in. I should have done that before making the video, but that happens. We should see. Still pretty alright. Okay. Oh, now they're coming in. So there are about 24 zombies concurrently. And obviously it's fairly noisy. And see, these ones are not shooting yet. These ones are. These ones are not. Okay, hold on. Why are these ones not shooting? The lock. Yeah, these ones are fine. Yeah, that's also fine. They don't seem to be shooting at all, but these ones do, these ones do, these ones do, but these ones do not. I mean, they obviously have power, otherwise you wouldn't be able to change their facing. Okay, let me restart here. So they are shooting quite a lot, and they are doing a pretty good job of taking care of the zombies. Any vultures? Nope, no vultures. Some cops coming in. Take care of him. Yeah, these ones for some reason are not. But the rest of them are shooting. As you can see, they are really massacring the zombies. They're doing a good job of it. Of course, because there are so many, that really helps to take care of them. Problem with Radiator, though, is, as always, they do more damage, they have a lot more health points, and they heal. And as you can see, they are taking out even this steel, because they do more damage, and they have that horde damage bonus as well, which really means that they can do a number on all the blocks. And we're probably going to see everything fall down here really soon. So that's something to keep in mind. If you have too many zombies like here, even with 8 turrets, and of course 2 of them are not working, so it's 6, things are going to fall down. But until then, of course, it's fun. It is something that you always have to take into consideration of when you're having the Blood Moon Hordes. If you have too many radiated, if you have too many concurrent, they just do so much damage that they can really take out the block so fast. And that's something that is new in Alpha 17. You can mitigate that with some of the server settings for how much damage the Blood Moon Horde zombies or AI does. But as you can see here, it's pretty alright, but they just overwhelm the amount. You see they're shooting. Yeah, they're shooting at them continually, but they just can take so many hits. It is when they take headshots that they seem to be killing them faster. But if it's body shots, it just takes so much effort for them. I mean, auto turrets are just shooting away, but it's just not killing them fast enough. Maybe if I had 16 it would be enough, but 24? Now, this doesn't seem to be enough. It just simply cannot keep up with this amount of zombies. 2 of them at a time seems to be okay, maybe 3. But once you get a big bunch of them coming at the same time, then no, it doesn't work. Now you see some of them trying to take out the pillars as well. Anyway, so let me... oh, that is so noisy. So a couple of takeaways here. Oh, actually, yeah, you see one here. Let me do that. See if the turret takes out this one. Now, because they are targeting... We'll see. I'm going to stand here. It's coming. It's coming. Now they're targeting all these other ones. Okay, I'm going to heal here. Now they're targeting all the ground-based ones, so there's none that really can do here. But, okay. You can imagine if... Whoa. Let's see, you did this. If you did something like this. And this. So you avoided them targeting the ground. Then potentially you would see them simply shooting at the air. And you might want to have some turrets that do that. But, oh, yep, you saw it shut it down. So you have to be a little bit careful about how you actually position the turrets if you want them to hit just the vulture, because they might just be busy shooting something else and not available to take out the vultures. But anyway, hope you enjoyed. Hopefully you got some thoughts about how to use the auto turrets, and let me know in the comment section. Do you prefer the auto turrets now, or are the shotgun turrets still your go-to? Or maybe some of the other traps. Which other traps would you prefer to use? Or is the auto turret going to be one of the go-to traps that you will be using either for the ground-based zombies or for the vultures? Let me know, and hopefully before I die. Well, I'm in God mode, so I guess I'm not going to die after all. See you next time.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.